$1.9 trillion stimulus, okay? Fine. Where's this $1.9 trillion of stimulus that they want to force to pass without the approval? By the way, unemployment right now, you know what unemployment is right now? Type up unemployment right now. Do you actually
7%?
What's 7%? It's 7%.
Is that where it is right now?
It's at 7%.
Okay.
Is 7% the end of the world?
No.
Is 7%? Hey,
we were at 12%. I think.
We had when we were at 12%. Did we send money out?
Yeah, we did.
No. When we were under other administration, under Obama, did Obama when unemployment? Okay, maybe do this. Go put history of unemployment rate. Go history of unemployment rate. And here's where I want to go with this. History of unemployment rate. Go to images. Actually, right there, that side is a good side, Maury. If you go back, click on that side, the balance, unemployment since 1929, go up. Let's look at some stats here. Okay, go to 2008. Okay, 2008, go up a little bit. When it was 7.3, did Obama send us a stimulus? When it was 9.9 in 2009, did we get a stimulus? When it was a 9.3, did we get stimulus? When it was 8, did those 4 years send us stimulus?
No.
What is the unemployment right now in 2021 right now? So type in unemployment 2021 unemployment rate.
I gotta say it's somewhere around 6-7% currently. I think
Rate.
the highest was
You gotta
maybe
put rate. Yeah.
12% in April.
Rate. Okay, 6.3%.
6.3. Okay.
You're sending $1.9 trillion at 6.3% unemployment. So here's what they want to spend the money for, hypothetically. Okay, so we think we need to do $2 trillion because America's slow to recovery. Direct payments of $1,400 to most Americans. What does most mean? Give me a specific qualification. Bringing into total relief to $2,000, including December $600 payment, increase the federal per week unemployment benefit to $400 and extending it through the end of September, 7 months additional, increasing the federal minimum wage to $15 an hour, extending the eviction and foreclosure moratoriums until the end of September. Okay, $350 billion in state and local government aid. What's it going to be spent on? I'm curious. Show it to me. $170 billion for K through 12 school and institution of higher education. $50 billion towards COVID testing. Fine. $20 billion towards national vaccine program in partnership with states, local, and tribes. Making a child tax credit fully refundable for the year and increasing the credit to $3,000 per child, $3,600 for a child under the age of 6. The plan is the first of 2 major spending initiatives Biden will seek in his first few months of his presidency, according to senior Biden officials. Senior Biden officials have been working with the stimulus plans for weeks, also confirmed that the president will support $10,000 in student debt. So $2 trillion. Now we look at $2 trillion and what do we say? Come on, man, Pat, it's not really a big deal. Okay.
No, it's a big deal.
If I ask you this question, you already know the answer to this question. So, in the history of America, how much money have we ever printed? Do you know the answer to this question?
No, tell us.
Paul, do you actually know the answer to this question? From day one, 1776, till today, how much money have we printed? How much money is in circulation? From day one, America, till today.
From day one till today.
Yes. Day one till today.
I would say 8 or 9 trillion.
I was going to say under $10 trillion.
Okay, $6.1 trillion.
Okay.
$6 trillion. Ever. Do you know how much of it was in 2020?
40%.
I think, yeah.
$2 trillion was in 2020. In 1 year versus 240 years. If you want to pull up that link that I sent you on, this is from the Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve, okay? That is money stock, M1, okay? You go all the way back to now. Look what happened in 2020, how much money was. Look what happened in 2020, and the amount of 41% of it was printed just this year, 2020. Oh, let's do another 2 trillion. Oh, let's do another 2 trillion. Oh, let's do another 2 trillion. You can close that up. What's the moral of the story here? Listen, I mean, hey, look what's happening to these stocks. They're going to the roof. Look what's happening to, gold is now, 70,000 per kilo, whatever the number is. Oh, look at what's going on with, all these other things that baseball cards, a Michael Jordan rookie card a year ago, you could buy one for $40,000. One just sold at an auction for $700,000. Whatever you can't overprint, the values of those things are going up. Land is going to go up. You got, what do you call it? Gold.
Bitcoin and gold.
Look what happened with all Bitcoin. You got baseball cards, collectibles. These things are going up, and we keep printing money. So if you keep printing money, what happens? Oh my gosh, look at the economy. It's so great. Market's going up.
Hyperinflation,
Everybody's
yeah.
so happy. Everybody's so good. Everybody's so there. Look how great things are looking. Really? Okay. Watch how bad it's going to hit us all of a sudden. Watch how bad it's going to hit us all of a sudden. This is a very, very important time to actually sit down with your husband and your wife and strategize what you want to do, or even yourself, what you're going to do with your strategy moving forward, money-wise. This is not like you had another, couple $1 trillion. What does that $2 trillion come from? Are we sitting on $50 trillion of cash?
No.
Are we in debt?
We're in
100 and
debt.
something $trillion. China, we owe $1 billion.
What's the current debt clock at?
$1 billion.
27
Japan,
trillion?
we owe
Where we at?
$1.1 billion. They're just spending money as if it's like, keep printing it. It's okay. We can afford it. Keep printing it.
So here's my question for you. Okay, because clearly by your tone, you're not happy with all the printing. Is that fair to say?
It would be an understatement.
Okay, you're not happy with this.
No, it would be an understatement.
So, obviously there's certain, Republicans on certain side of the aisle, the Ted Cruzes of the world, the fiscal conservatives, what have you, that obviously have the same philosophy as you. Like, what the hell are we doing with all this printing? I'm kind of there with you as well.
Yeah.
So the other side of the coin, you have Jerome Powell, you have Janet Yellen, obviously Biden, people on the Biden administration saying we need to add more stimulus to the economy. Interest rates are literally rock bottom. We can borrow our way out of this, grow the GDP, pay off some debt.
Yeah.
Like, it's no secret. Janet Yellen, Jerome Powell, the Biden administration, they're basically saying spend, 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 spend. So my question is, if they're the foremost thought leaders economically in this country, right? She is the Treasury Secretary. She's the former Fed chairman, Jerome Powell now, Fed chair. Do they know what they're talking about? Do
they know what they're talking about?
Right, meaning
there's a big difference between knowing what you're talking about and making a short-term decision versus a long-term decision.
Okay.
This is not about, of course, these are brilliant people. Powell is not a dummy to go up there and says, yeah, we're going to keep the interest rates low till 2023. There is knowing what you're doing, for the benefit of the future generations of whoever. There is the other part. Guys, we need a Band-Aid. We're bleeding. Just freaking, tie it up, dude. Get something out there, tie it. Yeah, the approach that being taken is not about how smart these folks are. Let me give you an idea. For example, what industry took the biggest hit the last 12 months?
airline.
Travel.
Airline?
Yeah.
Who else?
Hotels.
Hotels,
Who else?
restaurants,
Okay.
restaurants.
Okay.
Hospitality.
Fine. By the way,
leisure.
airlines, to me, a part of airlines, they need to go out of business.
You ready? You want them to fail. This is
Not
the Chamath.
I want them to fail. I want the irresponsible ones to be bought by responsible people.
Okay.
That's what I want to happen. If you're an irresponsible operator of a company spending money left and right, you need to be bought by a responsible operator because it's better for the economy and the consumer for a responsible operator to run your company.
Are there? Who's the most responsible airline operator? Is it Southwest? Who
Delta's also one of them.
Spirit.
is it? Spirit. And who's the irresponsible? Is it United? Who's been struggling the most? United, American?
Listen, we can pull up the
Okay.
numbers right now and kind of figure
I'm
out.
just wondering about
Yeah,
that. But you were going
my
somewhere with
point
that.
to
Go
you
ahead,
is
yes.
let the responsible people buy the irresponsible people, okay? And let's change operation. What did one CEO do to Southwest Airlines?
Turned it around.
What did one great CEO do to Southwest Airlines? Think about it. Well, why does everybody hire somebody when on the resume it says, I worked under Jack Welch for 4 years? Why does everybody want to hire that person? Why is there a premium under I worked under Jack Welch? Why is there a premium I was an assistant coach under Bill Belichick for 5 years? Why is there a premium for I was an assistant coach under Bill Walsh, under Phil Jackson, under Van Gundy? Where is the premium? Why is there such a big premium into coming out of a sales program of Xerox or IBM? Xerox and IBM for decades were known as the best sales trend. Why is there a premium in that? Because of what's being taught from the top, okay? Okay, so what's being taught from the top, you got these companies that are being irresponsible. I'm sorry. That's your fault. Why'd you overspend? I'm going to go back on your track record and see how your spending was. No, based on your spending, you just keep going into debt. That's not the
Or
responsible
stock
decision to make.
buybacks after the
Way too much,
the
right?
tax cuts.
Number two, what industry? My concern isn't the bigger guys. They know exactly what they're doing. The biggest hit was taken by small business owners running mom and pop shop restaurants. That's one shop, one bar, local, that's been there for 15 years, family, passed down for 40 years, generation after generation. You want to help those guys out?
Yeah.
We ought to. You know why? Because who shut them down? The government. The government is responsible for their laws. Bail those guys out. I'm with you there because you screwed them up. They didn't do anything wrong. I'm not telling you I don't want to go to work. I want to go to work. You're telling me I can't go to work. Well, then pay me. Do you understand? There's a relationship here. You create the laws. Fine. Mr. Government, you creating the laws. Pay me. Support me because I got a wife and kids and my savings is depleting from $62,000 to $53,000 to $41,000. I've been saving $63,000 may not be a lot of money to a rich person in Wall Street, but $63,000. You know how many people take a decade to save $63,000? That's a lot of money.
Yep.
63K is a lot of money. Let's just spend some money. Send the money here. Send the money there. You don't want to send the money to school. We want to send the money to education. Why don't you send the money and bail some of these guys out? I understand education. We rarely see it. How many times have you seen the education program in your schools getting better? Like you go, well, not much has really changed. Where did all this money go to? Yeah. Where's all this money go to? So my biggest challenge is accountability. You want to help out the restaurant folks, do so. I sat down one time and I talked to, I don't know, Zimmerman. I don't know what his name was.
Zimmerman.
Very political guy.
Zimmerman, yeah.
And you know what's starting to happen today, which this is probably the most beautiful part about what's going on right now in America, my opinion. One of the most beautiful parts of what's going on in America right now. California has a recall right now. They're trying to get Newsom out, okay? And it's looking like they're going to get there, by the way. Do you know 30% of the people that voted for Newsom to be out are Democrats? 30% of people that are voting, they are what's the word where it's you're Democrat, it's an M word. They're moderates. They're moderates, right? But they're Democrats, but they're moderates, right? You know what is happening today? You know what's happening in America today? Politics is out the window. It's pure logic nowadays. Shamat is saying, I'm going to run for governor. Shamat's not a Republican. He wants to run against Newsom. What are you running against Newsom? Why have you been calling him out? Because now it's about all reasoning. Throw out the Republican Party. Throw out the Democratic Party. Now it's becoming about issues, which is beautiful.
I think it's a great thing.
It's a beautiful
for
thing.
So long, politics has been emotional.
If you're Republican.
I hate Trump. No way.
Yes,
now it's like, hold on.
But the consequences, the side effects are now saying, listen, man, maybe 100% loyalty to my party is kind of not working out. Maybe 100% loyalty
for both sides. Wake up call. You might want to say that again, by the way. Maybe
100% of loyalty to your party is not working out.
Yep.
Both sides. Maybe now it's time we sit there and we just reason and process and
oh my God,
debate
that's so powerful
issues.
What you're saying
that's
right now, Pat.
what we need to do. Because where we're going today, it's a beautiful thing.
I agree.
Because it's like, well, let's raise the minimum wage. Hey, let's stop the oil and all this stuff. Oh, let me kind of pull that back. I'm sorry. I don't know. Why? Because even Democrats don't like what you're saying about that. What do you mean let's pull this out? You're going to cost all these people these jobs. These are high-paying jobs. These are good jobs that you got. Well, let's hold up. Why are you changing your mind? What happened all of a sudden? I thought this was an executive order. So we are kind of being pushed by our own community. It's like the father who goes home, here's what we're going to do. And his son says, Dad, can I talk to you? Yeah. I think you're wrong. And I totally disagree with the approach you're taking right now with your youngest son. I think it's a wrong approach. And I'm not telling you this in front because I know you're a dad and I want to give you the respect, but I don't think you're taking the right approach. And I think you need to rethink your decision on what you just did with them. I think you're wrong. And I know you're upset with me. I know you're just, but I think I'm the only person I can say something. And who are you to talk to me like this? Do you know what he did? He says, Dad, I get it, but I think you're wrong. And I hope you reconsider what you're doing right now. It's the son that's calling out the father right now. And it's a beautiful thing. And as long as a father sits there and says, maybe my son sees an angle that I don't see. You have to consider that a little bit. This is the feedback, right? We'll do things here and I'll say, Mario, what do you think? Pat, I don't know about that. I don't think that's a good idea. Okay, great. Hey, Kai, what do you think? Yeah, I don't. I think we stick to this. Okay, cool. It's now we're asking the what do you think more instead of I know what I'm doing and you don't because I went to Columbia, I went to Berkeley and you did not. It's not how life works today. People are getting called out from their sides and I love it. I love it.
Do you think we'll see another progressive movement where there's people that are fighting for a cause regardless of which party?
Do I think we will see? First of all, these movements are not going away. Just so you know.
What movements are you talking about?
AOC is not going away. You know, socialism movement's not going to go away. Communism's not going to go. These movements are not going to go away. But the argument gets smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. Like you don't see a full-on public communistic party today like you saw back in Hollywood behind closed doors. But there's still a group of people. I don't like the word communism. You know how the other day I was talking to the guy and he says, you know, I'm running a business. I'm doing $4 or $5 million. I don't want to say the guy's name, but you know what I'm talking about. He wanted to bring a partner in to give him equity to help grow the company.
Yep.
And he says, but I don't know how to put it in. I said, you have to realize you have the business, which means the controls are on who?
You.
I said, what you're saying is the word control is what? Control and trust go together, right? Control and trust go together. Okay, fine. So if control and trust go together, lazy and bored go together, okay? Bitter and lack of creating go together. You know what word goes together with communism or socialism? What is it?
Free?
Power and control. No, it's
Okay.
not free. It's power and control. Socialism and communism is to have power over you and to control you.
What, is it the government that has power and
Yes.
control over you?
Who else
Okay,
does? I'm forcing you to pay higher taxes. I'm forcing you to do what I tell you to do. That's purely force. There is no choice in that. The only choice I have is leave the country. It's not choice. That's force. You're forcing me out is what you're doing.
Circling back to Kai, with Norway, you kind of said that they're socialist, but they're capitalist. What kind of power and control does the Norwegian government have over the people with taxes, you know, that kind of stuff?
So I think a lot of it depends on culture as well, and if you're smaller, because Norway is a culture where it's a non-confrontational. You're more polite. You act responsibly, and the government kind of abides by those rules as well, where they're acting responsibly and they're not serving their own interest. Campaigning in Norway is basically non-existent. There's no political campaigns.
Really?
They're not even allowed to advertise on TV.
What do you think about that?
I think
what do
it's
you think
good.
about that?
I think it's
You
good.
can't campaign? What does
No,
that mean?
Essentially, they campaign, but the whole
Can't
money
advertise.
aspect is out.
Raise money and spend
Oh, if
money
you're
on
getting
TV.
money, you know, big money, I
What
think
do
that's
you
a
think
great
about that?
thing.
Would you like that in America?
Campaign finance reform, I
Yes.
think is yes.
Okay.
You
You
could-
sure
you-
you want to say yes?
Instinctually,
Yeah.
to have someone like Bloomberg come in and spend $100
$100
million in
one
Florida,
state, Florida, yeah.
to have the Koch brothers dominate the Republican Party, to have Sheldon Adelson, rest in peace, you don't speak ill of the dead, dominate the Republican Party. Yeah, I think that was a. I think
Would that ever happen in America?
would whatever happen?
Where you can't raise money to campaign?
I think it's you can't put the genie back in the bottle.
I mean, what was the big, was it in 2010 or the campaign finance reform, or what was the
Who
big?
you can't take money from and how much
What's the
up
term?
to-
What's the term I'm thinking? It's slipping
I know
my
what
mind
you're
here.
talking about. I don't know.
But
the
it's
term,
basically
though.
big
Yeah.
donations. You know, it's the whole super PACs, everything like that. You know, secret dark money.
Do you think both sides would go away with that?
No, but getting big money out of politics, I think, is a very good thing. Not like getting it out of there.
Well, I mean, I like
You can
that part,
buy
the
your
fact they
own
don't have it.
candidate.
And then you know what would happen if that was the case? What happens if that's the case, where you can't take money?
I mean, politicians wouldn't be making as much money. There's not the same interest to work in politics.
What else would be a problem if that were to take place?
Lobbying.
Self-funding.
Yeah.
So if it's self-funding, then the guys that have the money would run. So there's a
But it's also your.
Well, you can raise money from people though.
But
No,
they're-
he's
they're-
saying you
they're-
can't.
but
I'm
it's-
saying that's fine, but getting like the George Soroses of the world to just throw in, you know, the Bloombergs of the world.
that's a different story.
It's a different story.
But the
Small
way-
$25 donations, I'm cool with. Like the
way-
Bernie model, I'm cool with. Whether you agree with Bernie or not, he had millions of people saying, "Dude, I'm down with Bernie. Here's $10." I'm cool with that. To have the Koch brothers come in or the Soroses come in saying, "Here's $100 million. Good luck." Like, I don't think you can just buy your way into the presidency.
So if you enjoyed this little short segment from the podcast that we did, here's another short segment to watch. Or if you want to see the entire podcast, click over here. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.